Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and you're watching my review for Hunter x Hunter episode 142. Alright, and this one starts off with Hisoka and Gotoh fighting. And I enjoyed this fight. It wasn't as long as I thought it would be, but I still enjoyed it nonetheless. There was one point where Gotoh thought he had Hisoka. He did those spinning coins, and they went into the bungee gum, and he put more spin to it than power. So it ended up forcing Hisoka's arms around like this. And since he either had to choose between getting crushed by his own nen or being hit by the um, the coins that were coming at him next. However, Hisoka had bungee gum on his back, wrapped around all the trees, and the bungee gum that he had on his feet was the only thing keeping him from being pulled around all over the place. So he dodges by getting rid of the bungee gum that was on his feet, and it pulls him all over the place. And then the coins that he took from Gotoh, he released and shot them at him. So Gotoh turns around to go and take care of them. But then Hisoka drops down from the trees and cuts Gotoh's throat like it's freaking Game of Thrones, alright? So yeah, that was that. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good fight. Short but good still. And after that, we catch up to the rest of the butlers who are trying to catch up to Killua. And Subone ends up transforming into this motorcycle, which works essentially. It's the same as a fairy tale vehicle. You know how the vehicles in fairy tale, you have to wrap that thing around your wrist and then you feed your magic into it, and that's how you're able to drive using it. That's what happens here. All right, you get on Subone and you use your aura, and that's what allows her engine to start. Okay, let me just stop right there. I'm not even gonna. No, I'm just gonna move on. I'm just gonna move on. All right, they end up catching up. It's both Kanari and Amane. All right, and Subone. They're all going after Killua using Subone as a motorcycle, and they catch up to him. All right, they do catch up to him. However, he goes off road and they lose him again. However, they know that he's on his way to Parasta, and Subone knows exactly where Clue is going to try and go once he gets there, because his main goal should be, once he loses them, to contact his friends, in this case Moro, and let them know about what's going on. However, he has to do that without the butlers finding out, because that's one of the conditions he can't break, or else he'll be brought home. So he'll end up having to go to a place where he can call Morel, without the butlers finding out about it. All right. So the best place for him to go where they can't get to him is the air, as Subone and Kanari find out. So he goes to go get an airship, and when he goes to get an airship, Amane and Kanari are there waiting for him. Subone isn't there, because if Subone was there, then Alico would then start to make requests of her. Okay, so there you go. And so Killua gives them their props for getting there, but he then asks them how many airships they prepared, and when he finds out that they only prepared one, he tells them, no, you can't just prepare one, you gotta prepare multiple ones. So we have decoys, that way Illumi can't figure out where we are right off the bat, and it'll make him spend some more time trying to find them. So they do that. However, Kanari ends up creating a bit of a distraction for Mane, which allows Killua to escape with Alka onto one of the airships. All right, once he's in the airship, that's when he's able to contact Morel. And this was funny too, because the way Amane acted, the way she reacted to this is just funny. I mean, she Shimata, right? It was just funny. Like Kanari said it best. Okay, she said it best. She said that Amane looked like a real girl when during the scene. It was funny. It was true. It was actually pretty funny, and it was an enjoyable scene. You got to see a girlish side to Amane, which was interesting to see, and it was funny. So I enjoyed that scene too. Um, and later, that's when Killua calls Moro, updates him on the situation and everything. Kanari tried to call Gotoh, but couldn't get in touch with him, which is obvious because he's dead. Uh, so So Killua says, oh, Moro can't get in touch with him either. So Killua says he'll try later on, but he won't be able to get in touch with him either because Gotoh is dead. All right. So um, then we end up going back and forth between Killua and Illumi. Illumi's kind of just talking about where he's going to go from here because him and Hisoka see the airships, right? Killua's talking about what he thinks Illumi will do, and it is in fact what Illumi ends up doing. He ends up using needlemen in order to go after the decoys and everything. And Killua says, okay, since Illumi is probably going to use these needlemen, what we should do is get hunters to go after the needlemen and find proof that Illumi has harmed civilians beyond recovery, because that is one of the crimes, again, one of the heinous crimes that allow you to bypass the fourth hunter commandment, which prevents you from targeting other hunters, right? But if that hunter has done one of these heinous crimes, then you are allowed to go after them and target them. All right, so Morel goes with it, and they take advantage of Terradane, Lupe, and Bushidora in order to do it, because those three are three of the candidates that are still in the running for chairman, and they are not in agreement with some of these commandments and how the hunter exams are done and stuff like that. So they are more than happy to go along with this plan. So Killua kind of just takes it, not he uses them in order to help himself, while simultaneously knowing that they will do it because it'll help them as well. So they don't really care. They're using each other pretty much, and they are aware of it, and they don't care. All right. So they send these hunters out after the Needlemen, and they even held a little, well, not really a press conference, but pretty much. I mean, not really. But they sit down and record this video that's probably going to air online somewhere. I don't know if it was live or not, but it doesn't really matter. The point is that they record a video for people to see. All right. And here they reveal what they're doing. So they didn't actually reveal like Illumi's name. They didn't actually say we're going after Illumi's Oldik, but they didn't say his name, but they announced that they are going after him. All right. They were going after a hunter. All right. They didn't specify as to who they're going after. And they also say that they are going to try and reform the Seirin group, which personally I don't really mind, because I was actually kind of starting to get tired of Kuroko and Kagami and Teppei and Hyuga and Izuki and the whole team, but I'm not. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, okay? It's a Kuroko no basket joke. If you don't read the series or watch the anime, it's a joke. It's a sports it's a sports series with a team called Seirin, okay? It's a joke. All right, don't worry about it. All right, but yeah, they also Terradane is I guess the leader of these three. So they tell everyone, yeah, everyone who voted for us, put all your votes to Terradane because we're all for the same thing. All right, and yeah, they announced they're going after Illumi, and that's that. So I like this. I like the way Togashi did this. I like the way he wrote it because, excuse me, because he takes the Zoldyck storyline and links it to the election storyline. So we had two big storylines going on that were separate from each other, and now all of a sudden they've come together. So I like that. So now everything is mixed in, and everything, what happens in one will impact the other, and vice versa. So I like the way he did that. So overall, I'll give this episode an 8.5 out of 10. I thought it was, I won't go as far as saying like, wow, this was a great episode, but I think it was better than just good. So I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10, and that's that, you guys. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.